Okay, here we go. Or it's one, two, or three. You still, even though you can listen to that cadence over and over and over and over, still not get it. Whoops.
Right. So I got a thing back from the text on the other project, and I told Bill because he's a big Giants fan, right? Up there in Jersey. So I go, we're gonna do the training next week that we were talking about today, Nell. I said we're punting like the Giants do. So we'll move it next week.
Hold the phone now. Things have changed. I love seeing everybody in the seats doing this now.
Yeah, it's cool. All right. All right. So Karen, whenever you're ready, until then, I'm gonna start going over some other stuff and just interject when you're ready. You're the star of today.
Okay, thanks. I forgot to turn the broiler on. Give me a minute. It'll be.
I said, when you're ready, chime in. You're the star. Like for me, my stomach is going to be the most important thing. So if someone's going to do food, that takes over priority, and then I can get back to everything else. So you chime in when you're ready. So you guys, we've got incredible things happening with DTCA. Obviously, we have our Wine of the Month Club. And we're on steady paces with that. We've launched the affiliate program so that we can help people build into it. And what I wanted to talk about today is aspects of our performance blogging pages and what we're building. And the one thing about wine over almost anything else is not only is it the most relevant thing I've ever marketed, it never ends. There is never an end. There is never an end to it. It is just steady, constant recipes, directions, everything that's like that. So what we're going to do is, kind of focus on this. We have a lot of new people that have come in the last few months. We always add new people, but recipes, whether you're sharing a family recipe and pairing it with wine or even an everyday recipe, there is content to be written and content to be shared. And the power of response of the power of performance blogging is even one response or a keyword that ties to you can create a plethora of traffic. So every time you create a page or you share a recipe and a pairing, you are literally casting a net, not just a fishing line, but a net that can catch eyeballs to come in. And when you have a relevant item such as wine and the things you can do with it, that should be something that you're constantly adding, whether it's one recipe a week, one recipe a month, put it on your schedule. And I'll tell you, I think a lot of people have recipes passed down from their families. And if it's one you don't want to share, that's even better. You can tease what it is and what you paired it with, and just tease it out a little bit. But the thing about it is this is a great way to put it out there forever, right? Forever. Obviously, back up your pages so that we can protect the one thing on the hacking side. I'm also going to let you guys know that the amount of traffic we get on the recipes is just incredible. So, I know there's some of us that have hundreds of recipes out already. We've been doing it for years. That's kind of the idea. You'll notice some steady traffic and the eyeballs will go from one to another if you index it properly. If you index it properly. So what I'm going to do is we can go into some indexing. I don't know if there's a volunteer here that says, hey, I have a gazillion recipes. They're all floating. How do I organize this? That would be a great one today. Otherwise, I'm going to go down some different aspects. All right, Karen, you ready?
Yeah, pretty close. All right. A
Let's go.
preview is since it's Christmas season, I went back to one of the traditional things we used to have for Christmas breakfast when I was growing up. And of course, I enhanced it a little bit because these days you need more protein. But and it's in my page. Some of the holiday traditions we had to always, we could get up, get dressed, and we had to wait for mom and dad to get dressed, which I've never seen mom and dad get dressed so slow, except on Christmas morning when the kids are waiting. And then we could go down and do our stockings. And then we had to have breakfast before we could open the gifts. That was mom and dad's rules. And so one of the things we did for breakfast just as kids was a cinnamon toast. And I don't know if you can see it here.
Oh,
it's basically, you just take the bread and you use a cookie sheet because you can get a lot more done in a lot less time. So you put the bread on there, you butter it, you stick it in the cinnamon and sugar and stick it under the broiler. And FYI, this cookie sheet is the one I grew up with.
that's freaking awesome too.
Yeah. So that's what I forgot to set the boiler on. And so then after a number of years, my stepfather came along and he started making sausage. So here's my plate. I don't know if you can see it. He cooked the sausage with salsa in it. That was the twist. And then I made some egg cup muffin things. So I'll also have breakfast for the rest of the week, because when you live alone, you look for things that you can make up and keep on hand. So that's what I have. And I chose to pair it. Actually, I was talking to Laura the other day and told her I'm going to use the Tanya Pinot Grigio.
Yep.
And she also suggested the Adele Zinfandel. So
with the sausage, that'd be good. So the Pinot Grigio, that's one of our sweeter wines. And it's a dry Pinot Grigio. But the thing about that is you got the cinnamon sugar, so you got plenty of sweet.
Right.
And that the acidity of that white wine will help break that down. That's gonna be a pretty good taste, and that'll go good with the sausage too. But I'll gamble that when you have the Adele with the sausage, that's gonna be your favorite pairing of that. But the Pinot Grigio with the cinnamon toast, that actually, I'm gonna have to try that just by itself. Now, I grew up on cinnamon toast.
Oh yeah.
So that you're bringing back a lot of nostalgia. There's something about that taste that when the toast is just right and crispy and the cinnamon sugars, but you have to broil it to get the right flavor. You have to.
Absolutely. And the other thing with broiling it is you could throw like 8 slices on a cookie sheet and bam, they're done, rather than 1 slice at a time in the toaster, which when you got kids waiting to open Christmas presents, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So anyway, let me excuse me. I'll start with the eggs. Now, I'm sure you've all heard about the egg muffins, and you can mix just about anything you want in them. I didn't add any meat in these because I'm pairing them with the sausage. So let's see how these go. And I'm not a tomato person and other things, but you can put any veggie you want. Tomatoes, basically whatever you would add to an omelet, you can put them in there. I just have celery, green peppers, and onions, and a little bit of cheese. So, those are good. So I'll start with the Pinot with that. Not bad. Of course, the other tradition we did not have when I was growing up is we did not have wine to pair with our Christmas breakfast.
Neither did I. Jane too, but we do now. We do now.
Yeah, we do have now, and that's why I thought, well, this would be perfect. It's just a simple breakfast. It didn't take long to write up the page or even to prepare. But to add the wine to it, it's kind of like the time Connie did the peanut butter and jelly and paired it with wine. Take the simple stuff you've always eaten and try it with wine and see what happens. So that was pretty good. Now let me try a bit of the sausage we'll start with the Pinot and then we'll go around again with the other. Oh yeah. Now, if Chris Babb were here, he'd have the super spicy salsa on it and he'd have the spicy Italian sausage. Unfortunately, I've reached the age where I have to watch how much spice I eat. You'll get there eventually.
Oh, I'm kind of already there. Like I love spice, but it doesn't treat me the same. So I have to be very cautious on it. However, I did notice that I can try everything and I just can't have a lot of it.
Yeah, I've learned that if I want Mexican food, I have to have it before 6 o'clock, and don't eat pizza and Mexican in the same day. As long as that, I can still have them.
Yeah. Yeah, new rolls. Can't just, yeah, yeah.
So that's good. We'll have to maybe I'll go around again and try it with the other one. Now I'm going to try the toast. I've always loved cinnamon toast. And one of the family history is my grandmother was a diabetic, and then I heard that cinnamon was supposed to be good for diabetes.
It's not balance it out.
Probably not cinnamon rolls and sticky buns, but that was how I justified it. So let's take a. Oh yeah, it's as good as I remember. Oh yeah, the Pinot goes best with the cinnamon.
I can, for whatever reason, I can taste that without tasting it already. And I already know that because of the sweet with the cinnamon and sugar with that Pinot Grigio, I already know that's going to, I mean, it's not just, it's the cinnamon content. So I bet the cinnamon pops more with that wine.
Mm-hmm. Just to make sure, we'll take another bite.
At least another one, maybe two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Now, one of the wines I've learned to like is the Pinot Grigio. And the Pinot Noir is growing on me. But it takes time. So anyway, now let me go around again and we'll try flush the palate. We'll try it again with the Adele. Now I opened it probably a half hour ago and I didn't decant it. I've just got it in the, because I had a dilemma. I thought, well, you're supposed to decant the red. The problem is it's only me here. And if you decant the red and you don't drink it all, then what do you do with it?
Karen, you want to know the answer to that?
Yeah.
So decanting a bottle is pretty much you're decanting the bottle to drink the bottle, right?
Right.
So what you do is you get a good, the proper wine glass and pour it and let that sit. That literally will decant your glass of wine over time. And that's how you do it.
Okay. So I did it right. I figured we'll just pour the glass early and let it open up.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Even a better way is if you have one of those aerators, is you pour it with the aerator and then let it sit too.
Oh, okay.
Because that'll give you like a really good balance on that.
I think the eggs are better with the Zin.
It's not shocking, and especially what you put with the eggs. So eggs are kind of like, eggs are so good for us, but eggs will almost go with any wine. It's just what you put with the eggs, right? Because eggs don't have an overpowering taste. They're mild, right? They're a mild, almost. You can almost suggest what you want your eggs to taste like, right? You can put cheese in it. Now you got the cheesy egg taste. You can put peppers in it. And I mean, eggs are such a versatile food, very good for us, very good in all sorts of vitamins and minerals and protein, right? But you can almost put eggs with any wine. It's what you put with the eggs that's going to exemplify it.
Yeah, and if I were making these just egg cups to have, I'd probably put some ham in there and some other things, but I left that out because I was eating it with the sausage this time.
Right. Yeah, you got your meat, you got your protein source. Yeah, that was good. And the Adele in that sausage is probably going to be the best.
I didn't get enough salsa in that bite. Oh, and in his memory, on the 14th, 2 days ago, it's been 20 years since we lost my stepfather. So here we are doing him proud, cooking on the show with wine.
That's freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'll tell you something else to try, and I know Tanya would probably be saying it right now, but like if you know you're going to be having the Zen with that sausage and you're mixing the sausage, you're cooking it with salsa, having a little bit of that wine in with the salsa too as you cook it is just going to help bring the flavors together as well. Like even a teaspoon or two, depending on what you're making, into it. But I mean, you'll just notice. I mean, you can just take more advantage of it as you blend it all out.
Right. Yeah. The thing is it's only me, so I don't do a lot of cooking. But I also totally decluttered my kitchen for this. This was you know how you have to have a deadline to get something done? So my kitchen's cleaner than it's been in probably a year. Anyway, now we'll try the cinnamon. The good stuff. I could just eat this for breakfast. Still good. And I like it because it's gooey.
The textures are fun to play with food, right?
That's not bad with the Zin either. It is a little better with the Pinot Grigio.
And that's Pinot. Like here's the thing, right? Is you're bringing stuff up there. Like what you just created would be great for any brunch, really, right? You got the egg cups, the sausage, and then the cinnamon toast. Which the thing with cinnamon toast is that's something. I mean, I think a lot of us had it younger. I'd be shocked if they didn't, but that is such a comfort food anyway, right? Yeah, your bread, you buttered it nice before, and then you put the cinnamon sugar on it.
Yeah, a little extra butter so it melts into all the sugar and cinnamon.
You have to, right? And then you have to, and if you properly do it and you broil it, then it really puts that little crust of the butter, cinnamon, and sugar on the top of the bread, which that's the signature that you've got you've done it right. Is that? Yeah. And yeah, that's amazing.
So yeah, this is pretty good. I would, even growing up, I would have never thought to pair this with wine, but now that I have, it's like not bad.
So like here's the thing, right? Is wine is going to accentuate all foods, and just the right pairing just makes it more of a flavor experience, right? And now you're doing all that stuff, but also watch how you're learning, because now that you for instance, the Pinot Grigio is going to enhance like the cinnamon.
Right.
So now when you eat it without that, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I need yeah, maybe I should have some Pinot Grigio with this, but also you're going to appreciate the foods more because you get to enhance the actual flavors of it. And the thing about life and food is a lot of times, like I always say, there's two types of people, right? There's those that live to eat. That's me. And then there's those that eat to live. And the ones that eat to live, just they get the nutrition they need to just go about their day and grow. But I live through food. Like I will plan excursions because I know I'm going to go to this restaurant. I know what I'm going to get there. I know what experience I'm going to live again, or I want to try new. And we'll plan our route based on the food choice. But these moments, even with something as simple as cinnamon toast, that's an awesome flavor moment. That's an awesome event all by itself.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be like, this is the thing with food and wine pairings. It doesn't have to be, 100-pound, it doesn't have to be some, $100 steak that you enjoy wine with. It can be the simple foods, the comfort foods. In fact, the everyday foods go so well with wine once you know and learn, and then your palate will help adjust to it, and then you'll really appreciate it more when you have what I call like a celebration meal. Like if I'm gonna go out for prime rib, that's a celebration meal. Like I'm like proud of the week, something's happened there. Right. Because that's definitely a heartier meat. But I mean, like there's so many things to do, and then the pairings with fish. And I've noticed there's a lot of people that don't eat as much fish in their diet as they probably should. Fish isn't always a favorite meat, and I'm bringing this up as we're going to
fishy.
Well, if fish tastes fishy, it's not right? That's the thing about cooking it properly. But when you're cooking your fish, I'll tell you this, like especially like your halibuts, your cods, the salmons. There are so many different wines that go with it, and that you can kind of go the whites and the reds test. Like white fish and white wines always go pretty well, but we've got I mean, I'll tell you, like that Linda Horn will go with any white fish. It's going to be based on the spiciness of what you cook it with, or around, or what you have it accentuated with, or the sides. You can really have some experiences with all foods, but like when you get one of the meats. But what you brought up today with the salsa cooked sausage, like that's something I haven't had for a long. I've had it, but not for a long time. And now I'm like going, wow, why haven't I had that recently? Because it's actually really good. Right. And it, and you can throw that in a tortilla. So fun.
Oh yeah, you could do that. I mean, you can take tortillas and wrap just about anything in it.
That's true as well. Right. That's true as well.
Another one of my go-tos as a single person, just have some lunch meat and stuff and throw it together.
Yep. Yeah. The single cooking and doing it, like, you can get it down to a pretty good system, right? And you have those things on hand, and you can make really good choices too. And then a bottle of wine will last you a few nights, maybe two. I don't know, maybe one. But you can definitely like plan out the week,
right?
To say, hey, I'm going to have a bottle of Pinot Grigio Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If you wanted to, and you're just having it with the mill to break it down. So and everybody has a different way they do things. Some people eat more like at lunchtime or dinner. You can have fun with it, right? But you can just use it to accentuate the food, and it's going to just it's not going to get you drunk. It's not going to like do all that. It's just going to let you have a great experience,
right,
and enjoy food as we go along this life that we're in.
Right. Of course, you forget to eat if you're taking that plus.
Yeah, you absolutely do. I have to set if I'm by myself, like I'll be spending some time by myself in February, and if I don't set an alarm for lunch, I'll just work till 4 o'clock and then be like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry because no, I haven't eaten all day.
Yeah.
And yeah, that definitely does it. Yep, know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And oh my God, I love that new plus. I've decided, Niall said it's like chocolate pudding. And Dean says it's like a Tootsie Roll. I decided, because it's thick, it's like licking the bowl after making double chocolate brownies.
You know what? I like that a lot. Here's what I think about it, is I get to start my morning, I take the youth, and that always, like, I take that before I brush my teeth. It's like, it just wakes me up with that. I get that in there. I want it to open up my cells for 10 minutes before I did my other vitamins. I take the Biome. But I have the plus, and then I chase it with coffee. And the new plus, I just feel like I'm eating like chocolate in the morning, and it almost feels sinful, but it's good. It's like I gotta start my day with chocolate.
Yeah, and what's wrong with that?
Nothing, not this way for sure. And no, but I like your analogy on it too. It is like a batter. It is like a very double chocolate fudge batter. It's
absolutely, yeah. And I'm thought, oh yeah, this is like, it's like sinful. I mean, I told Angie that the other day, and she opened her up. I should have videotaped her face when she was trying it for the first time. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. Anyway, it's good. Yeah,
it's a treat. And then, I mean, the brains are a treat too. Like, I mean, everything's evolving. I mean, here we are, we're going into 2024. These are the great times to discuss it, but we've got just everything's improving. Like 2023 was an absolute year of progress and improvement. And now we get to really build on a solid foundation across the board, right? All three of our anchors are just cemented better. And that actually segues me to the brain food education. You guys, we're going to be putting out pages like crazy in January about the education and getting stuff set up. I'm gonna walk you guys through the process here. We're going to be signing people up in the parent accounts like crazy. We're going to be launching the kindergarten program. We're going to be getting exposure on that, and we're going to focus on our teachers very heavily. Okay, and we're going to be adapting the Vortex system to drive people in the brain food thing into our open houses, into the curriculum, in what we're doing, and highlights of things and the benefits. It all starts January, like the 2nd. So just know that we've been planning this out there, but 2024, guys, that's all about how we just grow things in massive form. All right, I'm Karen. Do you have any other surprises for us? This has been great.
No power tools for this one today. Sorry.
I had to ask in case it came out. I didn't want to miss it.
Although I have to tell you, Tuesday was my birthday, and LaRuth Martin put in the chat a picture of a chainsaw and said, "Be careful what tools you use to cut your cake." So anyway, now that's all I got. Pretty straightforward today. Just
This was great fun today. This was great fun today. And we got to highlight two wines and two of the taste. So I guess on the if you have more than one person, it's easy, but single, like we covered a thing today where if you want to decant it properly, open it up. And even open up the whites is fine too. Like you pour it. I'll tell you, most people keep their whites too cold. So if you're pulling it from the fridge at 40 degrees, you want it to go up a good 10, 15 degrees before you drink it. So you should open it up cold, pour it, let it sit 10 to 15 minutes before you drink it. And then the reds, if you pull the reds out of the reds, depending what your house temperature is like, you might want to put it in the fridge for 10 minutes before you open it and pour it out. But if you're gonna let it sit and basically decant in the glass, if you have an aerator to pour it out with, best suggestion. If you don't, no problem. But you pour that out there, let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes. It'll help open it up before you enjoy it. And then as you go through the meal, because typically if we're sitting down and the meal is a conversation meal as well, you have that one glass and you're sipping it with your course, and over the conversation going on, it's going to open up another 20 minutes or so as you eat. And every time you taste it, the wine's more opened up, and it helps the law of depreciation, which is the first bite of food's the best, the second's less. It's never as good as the first bite. Well, wine is a countermeasure.
As good as the last one.
Wine, the last sip is usually the best.
Oh, okay.
So you're countering the process. There's a measured method to it, and that's why you're not supposed to just sit down and pound the wine. You're enjoying it with the mill. It helps digest. It helps the flavors. It's part of the whole, like the health side of it. It really is. It really is. All right, I'm gonna move on to the brain food stuff here. I'm going to share my screen. Give me just a second.
Okay. I'm going to drop off here, clean this up, and I'll be back on the other laptop. So. And you got the page to share, Stacy? Okay.
Yes,
cool.
I've already shared it. It's already in the chat.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Catch you later.
Okay. All right, we're going to do an article writing today. See, that's pulling up. Right. So I'll tell you on these Saturdays we get to really dive in on meat and potatoes. I got my 3 updates to run. Let me go ahead and do that. And these are the article types that we should be looking at doing. So I'm gonna go visit my site under I got the education and career development category. I've got a few things in here, right? I keep adding more. I can do an article page, and I'm going to open this in a new tab. I'm going to create a new page. And I'm doing an article. It's a long, this is a very long title. It'll tell me that all the time, but that's fine. The key phrase is going to be homeschool. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to keep it simple. But the slug will be if you're looking to homeschool your kids, you need to read this. And then my meta description will be pretty much the same. Um,
Rory, you're not wanting to take any Q&A right now, correct?
No, not in the training. I want to just get the flow to get this page done. We have a lot of Q&A we can go into, guys. I'm just going to tell you, we're launching things. Be attentive on these trainings. And Nell will be doing the SHG next week. We're not going to do Q&A on there either. She's got a lot to cover. It's all education for you guys to take in. We go to work on the marketing. We'll do some Q&A sessions later, but we got to get through this January 2nd, guys. We're launching so much stuff on every level. So we have a schedule of stuff to get you guys ready for. So let's just keep on to that. So let me just put that out there today for the future on it. You guys are watching me write as I like to write. I've got my meta description done first. I'm going to put that there. I do need to pull up my backup system. So let me go pull up my Google Drive. And that's my Rory 3. And this is my education and career development. And I'm doing yet another page. Let me look at this one. Tutoring. Didn't put that up there. I'll fix that really quick. I have a lot of pages, you guys, you'll see in here. I have a lot of pages on education, and I'm going to be doing tons more, and it's how I market them out there and get there. So this is homeschooling. This is going to be one of those ones that I can share as a direct thing that's out there. Also, on my notes, I'm going to pull up my dreams time. And I started writing the article, and you guys, I ponder it, I meditate it, I pretty much know what I'm going to write, so it makes it look really easy. It's a pattern. The more of this we do, the more I'm going to help teach you guys how I pattern my brain and my thoughts and my mindset so I can knock out pages. The whole idea is to get it to where you're knocking out a page once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. So you're adding content to what's out there on the marketing space for your Google AdSense and to track eyeballs. The more eyeballs, the more you're going to win. Right. And in the world of performance blogging, you guys, we got it. Like, our odds of victory are so big. And with every page you write, you're increasing your odds. It's like you take a lottery ticket. Here, I'm gonna look at you guys this way. You need to understand this. We have this entire system that people can go through and look at, and we structure all that. And that's the one thing we give everybody. Hey, this already works. Here's the stuff we market. Here's the categories. Here's the stuff that's in there. You're going to modify them and make them your own. Now, where you can win by your own efforts, even past what the system provides, is the content pages you constantly create and add. And this is one of those things that's long-term understanding, long-term vision, but one article, and I'll say this over again, one article could bring you 100,000 new hits, new visitors. And I'll break it down even more: a decade, a year, a month, a week, a day, an hour, a second. You can get a lot of traffic. And I've had things hit that increase my Google AdSense revenue. Forget the other product sales, but my Google AdSense revenue, $100, $200, $300 a day. I've seen the jumps. And it's something that hits. And the thing about it is all that does is quantify you as an author, as a trusted source. And it helps rate all your other stuff up there. So it's one of those things, like you got to look at it visually, like you're pushing this big rock up the hill, and you're not, it doesn't feel like you're ever gonna get at the top, and then all of a sudden you have something start hitting, and now you've hit a peak, and now it just goes downhill, and you pick up all this traffic. It doesn't mean you're gonna have to pick it back up again, but eventually you have so many things hitting. It's like you leverage yourself. Each new article is like another rock going up to go to a pinnacle and go down. And we're going to focus on a lot of cool things to write in 2024 that are all there to help bring eyeballs in, generate revenue in Google AdSense, and generate traffic to all the other sites all the other pages and stuff that we have. And when we're working on this, I'm going to highlight the school stuff. I'm going to flood the school stuff out there. There has never been an exit from public education to homeschooling like there is right now. Fact. Historically speaking, there has never been a movement for people to get out of the school systems and bring it to the power of the home and power of the community like there is right now. So again, we're at the right place at the right time, and we just got to market it, get the word out there. So knowing what I see there, I'm going to continually put out stuff on wine, continue to put stuff on Bella Vita, obviously Savings Highway Global out there, but I'm going to be writing more and more pages on education and different angles of it to get exposure. Okay, to get exposure. And it, it's literally casting a net every time you build a new page and you go properly administrate it in the network. So I'm gonna go back to this, but I wanted some really good pictures today. Let me share my screen again. So I'm gonna go to Dreams. I'm gonna go into our. I have a lot. I paid for a big package. I got to get a lot of these done. So we're gonna go to homeschool, and there's all these pictures, right, of homeschooling, and there's a ton, and there's more. There are more and more and more and more and more. So this is a great one. I'm just gonna start adding these to. Yeah. Let me do my light box. I'm just gonna fill up our photo box or our images inside our shared folder um with great ones like this. Like this is homeschool. Oops. There you go. I like doing this when you guys are on because you see the pictures I'm picking and you can hopefully, you get a theme, but it's going to take me less than an hour to write an article saying the same stuff or a different angle on it, different keywords. And that's how we blog, right? We get it out there. Um, this picture is really cool, actually. Actually, this picture kind of it's a really good depiction of what I'm trying to write today. So I'm waiting for it. Yeah, I just put that on there. She has her own cup. There's no liquid in there, but she's got her own cup. I'm assuming mom's giving her coffee. I don't know. I'm gonna make fun of it right there. Okay. Um, but I like that picture as it is. Did that one. That's a good one too, really. Okay, I got what I need. I'm gonna go to my add new page. I'm gonna add an image so I can write around it. I probably want to go about a 255 size on that. Grab my key phrase, put that in the alternate text. I'm gonna go rounded and see how that looks. I like that. I'm gonna make this line right. my Twitter account link. That's what I was getting right there. I'm going to hyperlink to it. And of course, we're going to make sure that we always put open in a new tab. Go here immediately. That's another call to action. I've had people ask me, like, how many times you hyperlink? Well, it's we want to make sure we hyperlink on the top in the first fold, as we call it, so when it pulls up, but we want to put it throughout. We want to make sure it's on everything. We're going to ask them to join all the time. So when they get the information they need and go forward. And this is a free acquisition. We're not asking for money. We want them to see what it is. Then it costs, but we don't need to go into that. We want to get them registered with us and let the system do the marketing. That's what we want to do. So this is going to be a heading 3 in blue. I'm going to put this up there. Right there, we go. I'll get the link. Um, we're gonna click copy link address. There's a meeting ID. I'm gonna grab that too. I'll grab this. More and more, everybody's, I mean, the amount of people that have been on Zoom now is pretty much it's a high number. It's definitely it's definitely at a peak time, people understand it. So I'll put that there. Let's see, what am I missing? Oh, I need my so this is a page I can make it free floating, but this is actually a great title, and I was going to add that to my page. So let me go back to this visit site. I'm going to go to I'm going to open this one up, and I'm going to open up this one. I need to go to my home page. I have it in my backup too, but I'm going to my home page and grab it right there. My contact us. Line right and heading 4. And doing that accomplished everything I needed. I wrote it so it helped me with the transition words. Just so if anybody wonders, like, why did I go green all of a sudden? I figured out how to give myself some benefit. So I'm going to publish this. I'm going to publish it. I'm going to back it up. New Google Doc, create and share. There's my title. Puts it there too. And then keyword, slug, meta. And I'll come here. Click on the 3 dots, code editor, click on the message, copy, put that there, come back up, come here, exit code editor, click down here. I'm going to grab the meta. I'm gonna grab my slug, which is a long slug, but it's gonna be a good purpose. I'm gonna grab my keyword. It's backed up, so I can close that out. And then I got that I needed. I'm good with my backups. That's the only page I'm really gonna write today. That was pretty, you guys, I did that like in 30 minutes, in case you didn't notice. And it's I already knew where I was going with it, but I wanted to go on a different keyword, homeschooling. Now I gotta go launch it, which I'm going to show you guys that. I'm going to keep that there. I'm going to be working on that today. There's the page. I'm going to hit this right there to open it up. That's the actual page right there. It's more of an article type style, and I want to put it out there. And I'm just telling people, go here, right? And I just tell them it's all right there. You want to go to homeschool? Come here for. I'm aiming that at a resource. Go check it out. I'm just trying to entice them, and I'm asking for it here. I asked for it here, and it's just another way to put it out there, right? They're looking for information. I'm not. You notice I don't give them details. I just tell them to go get it there. Go there and set up a free family account. Right? That's the whole purpose of this article is get that set up. Once they're there, I know that the system and the messages we send out are going to help entice them and get them more information to make this pretty vital decision for their student, right? So so now I'm done with the backup. I can close that out there. I will go to Facebook and I'll just put okay. So I'll put that out there. And because it's a link, now I want to put an image in there, right? So I'm gonna go to the image, photos, videos. I'm gonna go here, and I'm literally gonna go right to the shared Dropbox, right? And then there's these images. I'm gonna add this one. Um, and I'm gonna post it there. There's another big one. I have different groups I put things on, right? That one's good. I gotta put my hashtags in. Homeschool. Homeschooling. People look at this, guys. The hashtags are such a key. Look at all these big ones. Okay. Those are my hashtags I put on there. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in. I know it won't get, I'm gonna put it up there. It's not gonna get as best to reach instead of the comments, just because I'm putting this in several areas. Well, actually, I'll put it on there. And I'll go ahead and hit post. And that puts it out in social media. And then obviously I can do it in Instagram and everywhere else, which is probably what I want to do really quick. So I'll go Instagram. And I've gone over today. There's Niall on Instagram. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna go new. I'm gonna grab that same image right there. Actually, I'll grab this image. Let me go. Okay, I have to use one other. This is where my. Let's see. I need to add another one. I need to add my custom ones. So for me, that's Rory 3. Oh, I gotta edit it. I've got my stuff on there. That's okay. So let me go to home. Let's put that out there. And again, I'm just trying to get them to go there and get a free account and let the system do the work, right? Let the system do the work. Our jobs in this case is just to get them to set up in a family account, just so they can see what's going on and let the rest drip. That's our jobs. We don't need to explain it all. Let the system and the open house, let that do the work. Okay. I'm going to stop this for